Anywhere near Stonehenge. You know what I mean? We've compromised, can't you? We're not going anywhere near the
what you're
place.
doing with the
All we
road up
want
and
is to be
down
left
here.
somewhere.
Oh, hello, how are you?
Left alone somewhere.
Bearing up under the stranger.
Shall I tell you something?
I mean, a number of people have asked us what the legal power is for you to do it, and nobody's actually told me what it is.
Where's
Can I
that
ask you
vehicle
straight
going
away so I can find out about it? Because I mean, there's a number of people who are concerned.
We're engaged under the Road Traffic Act of regulating the movement of traffic.
And what section is that?
Well, I don't even know exactly what section of the Road Traffic
But
Act.
you have to have some criteria to operate on to decide that you need to apply that. What I'm trying to get from you is what
We've
you're
got the
actually
Road
trying to do.
Safety aspect to consider, of course. There's a
Because
lot
of the numbers of people on the back lane.
Yeah, a lot of traffic movement there. There's children up there.
But it's only, it only happens on big sites. What about other places like
diversion?
the Bath and
The
West shows
diversion that's
costs
been put
just as
on here
much.
is to try and maintain a little bit of regulation of the traffic in relation to getting on there, and to protect people who are actually coming off and using the site. I think you would agree. With me that we've got to have some form of traffic regulation here.
Could you not do it by a one-way system rather than a stop? Would that not fulfil the criteria that you're setting out?
Yeah, because people there are
In what
stopped
way?
will only...
Well, it's a narrow road
wouldn't it?
and there are large vehicles, so accepting that you don't want them passing within the the community here, that there is access both north to Andover and south towards Stockbridge, and that a circular route could be established, and that would establish, it satisfy the criteria that you're trying to establish.
People
for the
there arrive that
application
you
of that
turn
act.
away, it's only going to go around the immediate area.
Why is that
and park up and
unreasonable?
do something
Well,
else.
we're not saying it is unreasonable.
Can we not experiment in that way then?
We've never said that it is unreasonable.
Because I think you'll accept this is going to happen more and more, and it's not in our interest.
No,
is it?
but you do take the point that what we tried to do, and the reason for this, is to try and regulate the traffic. We've got an awful lot of traffic up here. First of all, we can't have local traffic using this particular part of the road, because sooner or later we're going to have an accident here, aren't we?
Yeah.
If we're not careful, we're going to have an accident.
I can see that, which is why I'm suggesting what I'm suggesting, and I'm wondering, can we not play with that idea to see if it works?
Well, I think that's something we can talk about. Perhaps you and I and Mr. Reader can talk about
Yeah,
that.
by all means. I mean, I think rather than go through this when there's actually a point of tension, and you can see that it come close to arrest, and I can see you were restrained. I can see that as well, right? So I know there's a bit of to-in and fro-in, but you know as full well that there's going to be more people arriving, and that the consequence of this happening lots of times, it's a statistical chance before one of you gets your hat knocked off and off we go, and it's not in anybody's interest to do that. So if we cannot try every possible way of doing things beforehand, and one seems to be, from what you're telling me about why your road closing, why we can't do it on a one-way basis, and that would satisfy why you're doing it. If you're not in cahoots with Wiltshire in what you're trying to do over there, rather than having road safety as your motivation.
I don't think it would be right for you to say that we're in cahoots.
No, you're in opposition. I know you want us on both sides of the line.
We're not even in opposition. The fact of the matter is that there is, as you know, the ban on processions going to the stone, which is
Section 30 and all that.
No one's going anywhere near there.
And the fact of the matter is that you've chosen to festival over this side of the stones this year. And we're left with the problem of managing that problem.
Managing it, well, yeah, we can decide on what that word means and row together to get through the weekend, and that'd be great, wouldn't it? Without a doubt.
I think what I would like you to do, if you will agree to this, is if the majority of your people will go back to camp now, and we will meet, Superintendent Reader and I will meet with yourself and a number of your chosen representatives to discuss the problem.
But you want time to do whatever you're going to do, and
No.
What you mean now? I mean, we'll just cruise off now, yeah?
Yeah, no. If you stay here, and some of your representatives stay here, or you come back in 10 minutes' time, I'll get Superintendent Reid in here and we'll discuss the matter.
Yeah.
And if the rest of you return to camp, because I don't think there's anything to be
Is that
achieved
acceptable to Pope?
by staying here.
Well, in the meantime, we need off for water at the minute.
You can go off for water. There's never been any restriction on you going off for water.
We can get back.
And you can come back on.
Can you tell one of these officers
They do know that.
Are you going to be letting other vehicles in now?
That's what we want to have this conference about.
That's all. Oh no.
Yeah, because then it won't be both ways, and public, people.
If it's not, then I'll come back and tell you.
Too much hassle.